Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to another edition of Speak That Talks. My name is Tiara M. Tucker, and as always, I am so excited for Thursday evenings at 8 p.m. Central Time because that means it's time to go live and have an empowering, uplifting, and very fun unscripted, unfiltered, and uncensored conversation with the new special guest every week. So stay tuned because for the next hour, it is going to be life changing. So grab your friends, text some people, invite some people, host a watch party, or share this because we are about to go live in 30 seconds. I always say that 30 seconds goes by so fast, but again, it is an honor. Thank you all for tuning in. I am so excited. I'm always excited, but for some reason, this particular series has me really pumped up. It's Thursday, December 3rd. It's the very first Thursday of the last month of 2020. And I know I'm not alone in saying that 2020 has been quite the year. But guess what? We have made it. We have been blessed to wake up to see another month, and we will finish the year strong. So I just have to give some shout outs. Shout out to everybody that has been tuning in to Speak That Talks for the last 31 weeks. 31 weeks of Speak That Talks. I'm so excited. I don't know what to do because that means that I have been sitting still for 31 weeks in a row on a Thursday. And nothing but a pandemic could have probably caused that. But also, I am happy and blessed for all of the people that have been tuning in every single week. So for those of you who do not know, my name is Tiara M. Tucker. I am the founder and CEO of Tiara PR Network, LLC, as well as Speak That Movement and Speak That Talks. So again, thank you for tuning in. And this is such an interactive experience. And I think that's what has made this so much fun the past few months is because this is truly intended for us to interact, for us to talk. And how do we do that? Go over to the Speak That Movement page on Facebook and or YouTube. So go to Speak That Movement if you're not there already, and that's where you are virtually pulled into the conversation. I want to see your name. I want to know what city you're representing, and I want your comments, whether that's questions or feedback or emojis, because that's how we are all coming together for Speak That Talks. So I want to give some shout outs. We already have some people that are on, and I have to shout you out. Hello, Miss Michelle MacArthur. How you doing, my sister? She was a special guest on Speak That Talks before. Hello, Miss Catherine. Always a pleasure to see your name and face. Hello, Karen, represented Peoria, Illinois, another former Speak That Talks speaker. And representing Plano, Michelle. And yes, Karen, so long to 2020. It is almost over. And hello, Miss Sheena. How are you? She was also a former Speak That Talks speaker. And hello, I call her Miss Safe Encouragement because I just love that name. So thank you all for representing throughout Texas. I see some folks representing other states. Hello, Miss Patrice, Dr. Patrice May representing Dallas. So hey guys, we are having a start to what's going to be a fun night. So again, let's get in the comments. Let us know who you are and where you're representing. So before I go, I must start with this one. I cannot live in Dallas without this particular hot topic, okay? It wouldn't be a show about hot topics if I didn't bring up what has been trending in Dallas, Texas, and all over the nation. True Kitchen and Cocktails. So some of you may have seen it. If you didn't, feel free to hashtag it. So I live in Dallas, Texas. I've been blessed to live here for 8 years, going on 9. And I have went to a lot of amazing restaurants. I've met a lot of wonderful people. And so recently, a particular restaurant by the name of True Kitchen and Cocktails has made national news. It has the situation that happened went viral. So some of you may be wondering, well, what happened? So I'm going to give it to you in a really quick, unscripted version, okay? So apparently people were dining at the restaurant in downtown Dallas. Nice restaurant, Black owned. Shout out, I'm going to shout him out. I'm not going to hate. Shout out to Mr. Kevin Kelly, the owner of True Kitchen and Cocktails. I will have to say, from what I've been told, an amazing person, amazing human being, and an amazing businessman. So at the restaurant, a lot of people were in there. They were dining. They were having fun. There was a DJ. Music was playing. So apparently there was a table full of people who were having a lot of fun. And in particular, one lady in particular was having a whole lot of fun. She was doing this dance that we like to call twerking. So I don't know. Some of you may know what twerking is. Some of you don't. If you don't know, just Google it. And hey, I don't know. You might want to practice twerking. I'm not judging you. But the thing is, she decided to twerk at the restaurant on top of the seat. That's not really a good look for a restaurant, right? I don't want to see anybody at a restaurant twerking on the seat. But the point is, the owner, said some things. He got in front of everybody there. He said some things that some people feel like he probably shouldn't have said. He said things such as, about twerking. He said things such as, we don't want that happening here, get out of my restaurant. And I said that nicely. He also said things such as, I don't need your money. So he said some things that have people, questioning him. He used curse words, he used a lot of words. So the point is, I'm curious to know people's thoughts. I want to know, what do you feel? How do you feel about the situation? This clearly is a hot topic. Yes, it's called True Kitchen. Hot topic. So I'm curious to know. Put it in the comments, what are your thoughts on it? Would you be offended if you were there, if you were at any restaurant, not just this one, if you were at any restaurant and people were dancing on seats and furniture, or if an owner came out, or a manager or a coworker or whatever and said certain things? How would you feel about that? I'm just curious to know, because there's definitely a lot of controversy about this. So I also want to throw this out there, being a PR strategist, Mr. Kevin, if you need any help, if you just need some support, just call on me, Tiara PR Network LLC. I have worked on cases far more controversial than this one. So I got you back in Dallas, Texas. So that is all I have for that hot topic number 1. And we have a message here from Karen that said he had every right to eject that patron. All right, guys. So now that we covered that one, it's time for today's guest speaker. And I am honored to welcome today's guest speaker. We will be talking about less controversial things, and we won't be talking about things such as twerking, okay? So if you haven't already, meet us on the Speak That Movement page, because I am honored and I am thrilled to welcome to the Speak That Talks platform stage this week's guest speaker, Miss Maxine Johnson. How are you?
I am good. I'm just listening to the hot topic. Wow.
Yeah, I can't live in Dallas and not talk about the hottest topic in Dallas. Yes. So, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling fantastic. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Yes. So I won't even talk about the controversial things that have happened in your state, because, your state was on the map. People were talking about your state during the presidential debate, but we're going to get beyond our cities and our states.
We're the state that got us over. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Got us over.
So we appreciate your state. So I am, like I said, just really looking forward to this conversation with you. So I know you as an amazing, beautiful woman, a woman of God. You're a speaker. You're a transformational life coach. You're an author. You are a CEO, a boss woman. You're a wife. You are a lot of amazing things, a mother, a daughter, a friend, just a great person all around. But for the people that do not know, tell them a little bit more about who is Maxine L Johnson.
Well, thank you, Tara. Again, I'm so happy and grateful to be here. So who am I? I am hello, hi. So I am, as Tara said, I am an author, wife, mother, coach, speaker, preacher. I'm also a pastor. I've been pastoring for 7 years, and I am also an entrepreneur, own a business. I'm a business owner, as well as I work in the corporate world. So I'm in my leadership there is in human resources as a senior manager. So I do wear a lot of leadership hats. I wear a lot of hats. And so I have children, and they're all adults, so they're all out the house. So it's just my husband and I. So we've been empty nesters for some years now. So it's been nice.
Wow. There is no way that you have children that are adults. You look like you are still in your 20s.
Thank you. Thank you. The oldest is 31.
Wow. Well, hey, kudos to you, my sister.
I appreciate that. It's all about self-care. I'm injured now, but I used to work out all the time prior to my injury, but all the time. That's key. Working out, eating healthy, and trying to get an 8-hour sleep, but I have not been successful in quite some time.
Yes. Well, kudos to you and all that you have accomplished and already accomplished and will accomplish. So let me ask you this. Out of all the things that you are a part of, what are you the most proud of?
Outside of being a wife and a mom, the one thing that I'm most proud of is actually being a business owner and starting a business. I am most proud of that because you're going with a burning feeling you have inside that you want to do more, or for me, that I wanted to do more. And I know that there was more out there to do. And so even to say, what can I do with that burning desire? And that's when it started with writing the book. And that's how it started with me being an author. So it started there and just pouring into that and being transparent about that. And that's the thing that really got me and propelled me to the next level to expand the business. So I'm very proud of that for myself. And I just thank God for that.
Yes, that's awesome. And kudos to all of you business owners out there, you entrepreneurs, you corporate workers, your mothers, your daughters, everybody out there. I just have to say kudos to all of you, and make sure you remain proud, all of you out there, whatever it is that you're setting out to do, because it is worthy of being proud, especially those of you who are wearing many, many hats, as I like to say, many, many tiaras.
So, I love that.
That's my thing there. You know,
I love it.
You can use it too. You can.
I think I will. You know, the preachers say I'll give you credit the first time, but then the second or third time.
Yeah, I'll trademark you later.
I appreciate it.
Yes. So I want to give people a little history on this particular speaking series. Mm-hmm. So last month, the month of November, I had a series on Speak That Talks called Women in Business. So I had some amazing guest speakers throughout the month of November. Check it out. Go to the Speak That Movement page on Facebook or YouTube, where you can catch the replays. But amazing speakers every single week, including my great niece, Tinley, who joined me last Thursday at 3 months old. She did scream, but hey, her words were her words, okay?
That's right.
So it was still great to have her, because I am just trying to speak life for her and her entrepreneur businesses down the line.
Absolutely.
But that's right. Start them young. So we talked about women in business, and then that led to this particular month, because the conversation was so rich and I just wanted to keep it going. So this particular series that you are kicking off is called Women Who Lead. So before we talk about women who lead, I want to take a step back to November. And I want to hear you share with the Speak That Talks audience, what are your thoughts on women in business? How do you define a woman in business?
That's a great question. And so when we're talking about and thinking about defining women in business, I go to the core of who we are. And so the core of who we are as being a mom or even your auntie, we are nurturers and we nurture that thing. And so we put so much into it based on the passion and what's inside of us. The thing, what happens is in business, not just women, but business owners, is that it's hard at first. And that's the one thing, you're grinding, you're working so hard all the time. It's like for me, being a mom and just remembering the birth pains, it was hard. The birth pains hurt. I wanted to stop. But when a baby is born, it's so precious. That's the business. And that's how I equate it to. The baby is the business that's born, and we nurture it and we help it grow. And when you have children, and you have a niece now, you know how that is. They want their way. They want to do things their way. Businesses shift. There's ebbs and flows. And the word of the year this year is pivot. And we've all had to learn how to pivot. And so you pivoted throughout the course of raising up children because they had their own identity, they had their own attitudes and things of that sort. And sometimes you want to give up, but you can't give up because that's your baby. And so women in business, that's how I look at it. That's our baby. That's our nieces. That's our nephews. That's our family. That's who we are because they are a part of who we are. So that's how I look at women in business.
Nice. I appreciate that definition. I've asked everybody in November to answer the question. I love how there are a lot of similarities in the responses, and then there are also some, deviations, which is great because everybody may have their own definition of a woman in business. So I love that.
Good. That's good. Now I have to go back and listen to it.
That's right. And everyone else out there, come on over to the Speak That Movement page. If you're out there on my personal page or Maxine's personal page, and I see that we have a lot of you out there on our pages, come on over and join us on the Speak That Movement page because we want to pull you into the conversation. So just go to the search field, type Speak That Movement on Facebook or YouTube, and join us. So now I want us to go into this month's segment of Speak That Talks, which is all about women who lead. So I'm all about this women empowerment, okay? Now, guys, you already know I love you too. I have sprinkled out. I love you all, okay? And I know that you love us, and that's why I love y'all back. But it's something about this women empowerment, It didn't help that we now have a African-American female VP because, that just really made me feel like it's all about women empowerment. And so many other amazing women who lead in the household, in the workplace, in the community, wherever it might be. So tell us, Maxine, you told us what you think about women in business. What do you think about women who lead? What does that mean to you?
Women who lead is something it's so powerful in itself. Because of who we are, and we give all we have. We give everything we can. And so when we lead with compassion, we lead with love, we lead with servant leadership, we lead from that aspect, we lead from seeing others do better, we lead from legacy, that we want to see a legacy, and we lead because we want things to get better and not necessarily make it about us, but about others shining. And I always like to use this, and I use this with my team. When you shine, I shine. When I shine, you shine, and we all shine. And of course, as a pastor, I always say, then the sun shines all the way and he gets the glory. But that's a whole other thing. But that's the point, because we make it about others, because that will reflect on who we are as leaders, right? And so I just get so excited about the opportunity to lead, and particularly in wearing different hats. because I used to take off the hat over here and take the hat off over there and take the hat. But what I found throughout the course of the years is that it all intertwines with everything. It all connects somehow, some way. It's just a matter of, as we say in human resources, like a transferable skill, right? Mm-hmm. And that skill is transferred into different aspects on how we lead. But the core of us, the compassion of who we are, that really speaks volumes into how we lead.
Nice. And shout out to some people out there. Shout out to Janice Tucker Farrell, watching from Texas. That's my mom. She is a woman who leads. And shout out to Sharon Sykes, my cousin, who mentioned servant leadership. She also is a speaker on Speak That Talks. And I want to pull up this comment from our friend Melissa. Melissa says there is something special about women supporting women.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So the thing is, that's a great point, Melissa. And when I was speaking about when I first started business and when I wrote my first book, and I'll think about the second one. But when I wrote my first book, the title of the book is called Helping a Sister. Why? Because what got me to every next point was the help of other women. And there's a Bible scripture right there, is Proverbs 27:17 that says iron sharpens iron. Mm-hmm. and we sharpen each other. And so when we do that, we help each other so that we all can be sharp and take us to the next level. And even in our own experiences and things that we've gone through, that's what gets us stronger to go to the next level or to the next step. And the part about empowerment is that we don't want each other to stay there. It's like, no, you can't stay there. It's time to go on to the next point, the next level, whatever we want to do, whatever you need to do, sis, I got you. So that just makes it so enriching for me. And that's so exciting to me. So I learned it from just helping a sister and doing that, and just really talked about that in a book. But I lived it, and I love sharing that and helping other women as well.
Yeah, I love that. And that's a really good point, because to me, that's a great characteristic of a woman who leads, right? A woman who is a good leader can be a good supporter, Absolutely. Right? So what do you think are some other traits of women who lead? Like, if you were just to throw out a few off the top of your mind, what are some traits? And everybody else out there, what do you think are some good qualities that define a woman who leads?
I think one thing, and I will say this, Tiara, I'll say this. I learned this the hard way around listening and really honing in on listening skills. And when we talk about listening and being a good listener, remember when our children, our nieces and nephews, when they're talking to us, we will always listen and say, what is it that you have to say? And we really hone in to listen to them, right? So listening is really powerful. Talking also another place around leadership that I believe that we do well on, not only listening, but we also empower, and we allow others to be empowered. That's key. And that's a part of the support, and that's a part of the servant leadership, because it's not about us. It's about serving those that are, I will say, the downstream effect, to make sure that they get lifted up. And so that's important as well. So we talk empowerment, we talk about listening skills, being accountable to them. And there is really, when we talk about accountability, it's okay to say I'm wrong, right? It's okay. Or it's okay to say I don't know. And we can say that, and to be forgiving, not only forgiving of those who we serve, but also be forgiving of ourselves. A lot of times we're hard on ourselves, though. We are very hard on ourselves, particularly being a woman in leadership, because a lot of barriers had to be broken through, and a lot of glass ceilings had to be broken. And so we want to make sure that that ceiling stays broken or it's smashed wide open. So we want to make sure everything is perfect. And we get so hard on ourselves and we stumble over ourselves, but we have to really show ourselves some grace. And it's okay. And I had to learn it the hard way. I still have pencils, and I have pencils and use pencils for a reason, because of the eraser.
That's good. No permanent markers on this journey, right?
No. I learned that the hard. We learned that in our teenage years, right? Where we thought it was permanent markers. And the next thing you know, you got scrubbing, you got to get that away, right?
Yes.
That's rubbing in our hearts to get that thought process going. Like, no, you're not perfect, or you don't have to be perfect.
Yeah. And I love what you said about the grace, right? Like, we have to be able to show grace to ourselves and others. So we have some folks out here that have added their thoughts on, characteristics of women who lead. Karen says discipline. Bobby says good teachers.
Yes, yes.
Sharon says women who lead are givers.
Very much.
Also added precision. Janice said sisters supporting sisters with true love.
Yes.
Veronica Matthews. Hey, Veronica, former Speak That Talk speaker. She says a woman leads with her being, compassion, vulnerability, trust, accountability, and respect. Very nice. Karen, focus. Sharon adds, women who lead have a heart to see people grow.
That's so good.
Yes, yes. And shout out to Sharon for her Heal the Culture platform that has really been transforming a lot of lives of women.
Oh,
yes. And shout out here to Miss Sherelle Reed, who is the speaker on December 17th. So thank you for coming on over here today. And she actually just had a conference called Sister, I Got You Covered. And I was honored to be a speaker.
Oh, awesome.
And so she says transparency. So make sure you all tune in December 17th to hear more from her. And also, I want to give this shout out before we move on to the next hot topic. So Michelle added Dallas Professional Women, which is the DFW, DPW. Dallas Professional Women supporting, lifting, inspiring, and serving your sisters. And shout out to that organization. It is a fabulous organization. I know several people are part of that organization, and they are doing amazing things to uplift women. So thank you all for the commentary.
Yes, thank you. A lot of that resonated with me. Particularly, I like the whole thing about transparency and vulnerability. And when we talk about transparency and vulnerability, I think there is such power in being vulnerable. And it's okay to be vulnerable. And of course, to a certain extent, you have to have some discernment with that. But as leaders, we're vulnerable in a place of where we are leading, because sometimes we have to sit there and just open up and to give that feedback as to why what did or didn't happen, right? And you're sitting there and you feel like you're being sliced apart. But the whole thing is, in that place, you are being vulnerable, or transparency, because when we're leading others, they really appreciate not how much you know, but how much you care, right? So when you're leading others, and that's one thing that I've learned, is like you really care about me, not about the outputs, but about me. And that's so important, because they don't care. People don't really care about our ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, and elemental P's behind our name. They just want to know, what do you care about me, right? And that's so important. So I like that when we're talking about women who lead, like, we're caring and we are compassionate about that. So thank you all.
Yes, interactive group today.
It is.
So we are about to turn it up a notch. It's getting a little cold outside, so we're going to turn the heat up a little inside. So guys, it's not too late, ladies and gentlemen, to tag some more people, share this with people, host a watch party, because we have Miss Maxine Johnson, an author, a pastor, a speaker, a coach, and so many more things. But another thing that you are, I want to consider you an expert. I love that word, because, some people are experts. Some people are experts because they lived it. Some people are experts because they lived it, they studied it, they walk it, they talk it. And I feel that you are when it comes to the next hot topic. Drum roll. Relationships, in particular, relationship goals. So when I think about relationships, whether it's career relationships, whether it's business relationships, community relationships, family relationships, and then also relationships with whoever you're dating or married to, or running away from. I mean, that happens too, right? Some people have goals to get separated. So whatever it might be, remember, this is a no judgment zone on Speak That Talk.
No.
So talk to us about this hot topic, relationship goals.
To me, well, I'll say relationship is everything. I'll start at the biggest relationship besides my relationship with God, the creator. Second to that is my relationship with my husband is so important. And I always tease people and tell people, listen, don't do it for me. You got to go home, right? You got to go home. So when we talk about relationship goals, that's the foundation for me, God, my husband, and the, family. So when we talk about relationship goals, is how do we meet people, and we have this, I'll say like this agreement, this understanding, and I won't necessarily say agreement, I'm using that term loosely, but we have this understanding about what our own personal goals is, but respecting and the compromising and the sacrificing and all of that. And so what I've learned over the course of leadership is a lot of the things that I do over there as a leader, I kind of incorporated even in the house with my husband. So when we talk about relationship goals and building relationships, of course, as an HR manager, HR leader, a part of that is you're getting to know clients. You're trying to meet their needs. You're trying to get them as close to what they need to have the best outcomes as an organization, as a department, or whatever the case may be. And you do that a lot by listening. You do that a lot by spending time with them. You do check-ins. You do all of that. Do that at home as well. Same thing with our families. Same thing with your boyfriend. Same thing with your friends. Same, whatever that is. Relationship is all about time. How do we build relationships with people we don't get to know them better? We have to. And I'm not talking about a text message relationship if that's what you do, but I want to hear your voice. I want to get to know how you know what, I hear in your voice something's going on. I want to understand if I can look at her face and then I can say, what's going on? Something's not right. I want to understand the question behind. I want to be able to ask the question behind the question, because I have that relationship and because we spent that much time, because we understand each other. And that is all about spending that time. So, business owners, in order to understand what your clients and customer needs, you have to get to know what your clients and customers are about. Again, that's all about understanding and knowing who they are.
Okay, no, that's really good. And we have some more people that have joined. Thank you all for joining. Come on over to the Speak That Movement page. Go to Speak That Movement and come on over here, because we're about to turn this conversation up a little bit more. I don't think I got it hot enough. I want to get a little bit hot.
I gotta get my fan.
Well, I'm thinking it's the end of the year, right? People had goals this year. Some people had business goals. Some people had career goals, family goals, whatever that might have been. And I usually, obviously, every week I talk about that kind of stuff. But I also like to talk about all types of things on the hearts and minds of the people, including the relationship goals, to the single people out here, including myself, to the married people, the divorced people, the widowed people, whatever it might be, because we do know that 2020 has been a year, right? A year of isolation at times, right? A year of just new norms. So I want you to speak to the people that are in relationships, those relationships with somebody else, or those that are desiring a relationship, right? Maybe they want a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a wife, vice versa. So I have a confession. I called on all the single people to join this week's show. I called on the married people. Okay. I said, I got a good speaker today. So any thoughts that you have for the people with those types of goals? Any words of encouragement or anything you want to share?
I will share this. And you said we could just turn it up a notch. So I'm just going to just be, right?
Yep, that's it.
I have friends that are single. And thank you, Camp Party of One. Friends that are single, and COVID has really, in our candid conversations, COVID has almost made them go back to the old
boo.
What? The COVID booze, like, let me come on over. You're staying there alone. And I'm like, no, hold your ground and keep your legs closed tight and take a shower. It's okay. hold your ground, because you're going to regret it. You're going to regret it. Why did you break
the reason why he's an ex-boo.
Exactly. Why did you break up with him in the first place? Why? I said, come on. Let's just fan it. Do whatever. We said we could. It's late at night, so it's adults, right? So I what I'm saying is that we don't want to. And what I've learned is that through relationships, and I've been married for over 10 years, and this is my second marriage. This is my second and my last. And so when we talk about relationship goals from a perspective of what did we learn, or what did I learn from the first time? What did I learn even in the second time? And I always like to tell this story that my husband used to tell me, Maxine, you talk too much. And I'm like, no, I don't, And then, but I used to get an attitude. I was like, what? I don't talk too much. No. And because I had something to say, because here was the thing. And this is how Wife Boss kind of formed, because of the things I learned from my marriage. Because my husband said, you are not my manager. You are not the pastor. I'm not one of your trustees. I'm not one of your stewards. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm not somebody. Don't talk to me like that. And I'm like, what? Right? But the reality is my ex-husband used to say the same thing. So maybe there was, and they're two different angles, it's not like, so when I learned that, I'm like, I had to really take a look at myself. And so when I understand, I think I heard Bishop Vashti McKenzie talk about this some years ago, being a bishop over churches, the AME church. And when she was a bishop, and how she became the wife at home. And at first I was like, well, how do you turn it off? Like, I can't, like, I couldn't, but I had to learn to transfer that skill and transfer those things. So when we're talking about relationships in that, and even when I was single, a man still desires, in my opinion, he still want that lady. I want you to be my boo. I just, I know you got it going on. Why else am I talking to you? Why else am I wooing you? Because you got it going on. It's already been proven, right? But you don't have to turn it up too much more. And, let them chase a little bit. That's the other thing. Don't chase, be chased. That's the key. Remember, the Bible says a man that findeth the wife find a good thing.
Find what, everybody?
All right.
Okay.
That means he gonna find you. Don't chase, be chased. And that's the thing. Oh, you A and B, okay. And so when we look at that, and we understand that, and knowing that, especially if you're a believer, if you're, I'm a pastor. So if you're a believer and you abide by that, it works. Save it. Yeah. Save it for the wet night. He could wait. He waited that long. And if he's telling you that, no, I can't, we are adults and all this, I'm just telling you it. I'm not even gonna say maybe I am, but I've learned even from my adult sons, they're young. They desire, they like, Mom, ain't no women out here. But the thing is that some of us have played ourselves or overplayed our cards. And I'm talking about 20 and 30-year-olds. I'm not talking about, but they've overplayed their cards. Meaning I'm going to give them all the sexy ones. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Overplaying their cards when really they want a good girl. They want a good girl. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been a bad girl at times, and I thank God for his grace and mercy. So, thank God for forgiveness. Hallelujah. Right? So, that's the one thing. That's the first thing that kept I thought about. And so even being married is just really honoring that marriage and honoring our husbands and honoring it, even in that relationship with the goal, honoring that who he is, or honoring that. And because they want to feel like men, again, they're there to protect and provide. Honor that. Now, could it be that my husband could, I could run a whole household and do everything myself? Absolutely. I've been doing it before we got married. But he's, he the man, and he going to be the man, and he's going to, so I like it. Yeah. So Christians under construction. I know. Listen, it took me this. I didn't get married and then this just happened. This has been over the course of years of arguing and like, oh my God, we might be separated. I can't be divorced twice. The people think I'm crazy. So I really had to really look at myself and just pray about it, and the shift just happened. So
yeah, that's good. So you mentioned a word. You said a word, and I want us to talk about this because this is a word that I feel if I'm going to, own wear of many tiaras, then this is yours right here. Wife boss. Tell us more about wife boss and what is this? This is yours. Tell us about this wife boss concept.
The whole concept around wife boss is that me being a woman in a position of power, as I said, I wear many leadership hats in different realms. And that to just kind of have that same confidence, that same heart, that have harmony, confidence, influence, and clarity in every area of my life. Because what was happening was before I got that, what was happening before that was I would come home frustrated. I would come home angry. I'll just say I have attitude, and that will go into you talk too much, right? It will cause arguments and all of that. So to understand, and I know people use this word balance. That's really impossible to do. We can't balance, right? But when we talk about harmony, it's like, how do we prioritize certain things? Certain things need priority. And so that whole wife boss concept came that I'm a wife and I'm a boss and I'm having the best of both of it. So the best of it is that I'm being a better wife, and the being a boss is making me a better leader. And so when I say boss, I just use the term, but overall I'm a leader. And I servant leadership is that's what I really try to do and try to live by. So that's what the whole concept came from trial and tribulation, honey.
Awesome. So then from there, you are the founder and the CEO of Wife Boss Academy. So tell us more about that. And guys, I'm asking because I'm learning as well. So tell us all about Wife Boss Academy and how did you get it started? What is it?
Sure. So Wife Boss Academy is a place where I help women who are in a position of power to get the best of both worlds and help them get chic. And chic is an acronym for getting confidence, getting harmony, getting influence, and getting clarity in every area. And so I coach women who are in a position of power, who are in leadership. And again, I like what you said earlier, Tiara, is that you don't have to have a leader or a manager job or whatever that title is to identify you as a leader. Being a leader could be, I'm running a household. You are a leader. That's leadership skills. Leaders can be, even if you are, no matter what role you are in, you're a leader in your own right. And a lot of times that goes into, and that can impact on how we are in our households. So instead of getting frustrated by it, is to coach women, how do we gain that chicness, if you will, in every area? So that's what I do. I coach women to do that. And it's just been so rewarding for me to help women through that journey.
So if somebody was listening in, including myself or whomever, right? And we're like, I'm just curious. Do people say, I want to be a wife boss? Or, I mean, what leads people to like, I'm signing up? I know you do, right? Because you just have the draw that makes, I want to be a wife boss when I grow up, okay?
Right.
So, what is it that you think really pulls people into this Wife Boss Academy? Are they looking for something or?
Yeah. A lot of women are looking for, how do I do this thing? Because it's a challenge. More, and particularly if you have relationships, you have children, you have family, but in relationships, married or not, or like you said, single women have reached out to me and said, I want to be married. So I want to get this and try to get ahead of it, try to be this career woman and be here, but also still want to be a great spouse, a great wife, or whatever the case may be. And so how do I do that? Because to take away that frustration, to take away that anger, to take away that confusion, that's what draws people in, because we are tired of it and we don't have to. And that's the whole piece about helping other women, because I don't want you to go what I went through. I've been there, done that. So instead of me saying, nope, I got it and keep it all to myself, I just couldn't do it anymore. And so that's how it was formed. And so with that, I really wanted to say, you know what? My husband's like, he sees the difference. People see the difference in my leadership. And so because of that, I want to help other women do the same thing. And that's the draw. You can have the best of both worlds. You really can. And society tells us that we can't. And society says that we have to choose. Society says, so you got to choose whether, you want to be a career woman or you want. no, we can have the best of both worlds. That's what I believe.
Yes, I like that. Congratulations. I think this is a really cool concept. And I also just want to commend you for your transparency. To me, that is a definition of a woman who leads, who is willing to take things that might be embarrassing or things that they might be a little ashamed of, or, feel some type of way about, and just take it and say, but you know what? It made me who I am today. And I'm going to take the lessons and I'm going to pay it forward and help other people. So kudos to you for that.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes. So I have to ask, I feel like in my mind, some of my single friends are texting me in my mind. They're reaching out like, ask Maxine, what tips for the single women? Okay. So what tips do you have for the single business oriented women who are aspiring to one day be married, but want to be able to harmonize being a great wife, a great woman, a great friend, a great everything else, and a great business person? What are like your top? And I mean, everybody out here, this is the VIP question and answer, because she's giving us something that you probably have to go to the academy to get, but I'm trying to
I think one of the main things, and I like to share it in a story. I'll share it in a story. And then here's the thing. My father used to say to me, if you want to wear the pants in the house, why would a man need you? Meaning we have to allow them to be who they are. So does that mean, ladies, and I know maybe I'll just say because we did it, listen and allow him to lead in that way. Allow him to lead in that way, because if he wants to open the door for you, allow him to do that. Chivalry is not dead. I believe it's still alive, but we've been like, no, I can open the door myself. No, I could do this. I could do that. Listen to him. Show him that you're listening. Just like what we do. You're a leader, right? You're talking to people on your staff and you're listening, you're engaging. Engage him. Now, I'm not saying let's go jump in the bed. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying I ain't saying that. I'm saying engaging him to keep him this. I'm listening. I'm understanding what you're saying, and just watch. And so, because a lot of times we overassert ourselves, and that could be off-putting to them. And so, just allowing him to be who he is as a man. Now, I'm not talking about if he's a jerk, but I know there's always somebody that's a good guy out there. But we just gotta just be like, we don't have to be. They asked you out for a reason.
That's good. That's good. All right, ladies, you better listen. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to
listen.
Love.
The thing is, I'll give you one more. Here's the other thing too, is when a lot of times we get into relationships, and like, Terry, you're beautiful, right? Look at you, all your red. I just want to wear some red lipstick. I can't find a good red, but that just looks you look beautiful. And what happens is we get into relationships, and then it goes into long-term relationships and ultimately marriage. We neglect ourselves. We neglect ourselves. How you got them is how you going to keep them. That means if you were working out before you got them, keep working out after you get. Now, I'm not talking about the babies and all that stuff when you got to rest or you're injured. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I love telling a story. My husband and I, when we were dating, I didn't have a car, so he would come over and let me use his car. And so what happened, he would come over early in the morning or whatever the case may be, right? And so what happened was, stop, Melissa. You're beautiful. But what happened was, I would say, okay, well, I gotta go, or you gotta go. I gotta go to the, I'm going to the gym. So I would use the car to go to the gym. And that was just all that I did. I went to the gym all the time. Or if he came over, I was like, oh, nope, time to leave. It's 10 o'clock. I go to bed because I gotta go to the gym. I was adamant about it. We get married. He said, so would you just get married? You stop going to the gym? Would you just stop working out like that? Is that what you just want to stop? I didn't think he cared. I really didn't. I didn't think he cared. But he watched me, right? get them. Is how you gonna keep. Now maybe we don't wear the little boom boom dress or the little boom boom dress no more, but wear it in the house.
The boom boom dress. Describe this boom boom dress.
What did Beyonce call the freakum dress?
Oh, okay.
That's yeah. So y'all know what I'm talking about. But
I like the name. My mind went to Eddie Murphy in the Boom Boom Room.
Oh no, yeah, okay. I know. Thank you for clarifying. I mean, those type of things. And so so that whole self-care piece is very important. That goes throughout. And so it's like, oh, he comes over. Now, don't get me wrong. Is my hair messed up sometimes? Yes, absolutely. Do I look a mess sometimes? Absolutely. When I walk out this door, I'm representing Team Johnson. So I gotta be like, I'm good. Whatever that looks like. So
yeah, I like that. And I like something that you said. You're representing Team Johnson.
mm-hmm.
That's powerful right there, right?
Team.
Like when folks are in relationships, we're representing each other, right? And I think sometimes I wonder if people lose sight of that. Like, you're representing him, he's representing you. You're representing that company's representing you. So that's good.
Exactly. And that's why when we talk about as female leaders and wherever we're leading in our company, remember, if you're an entrepreneur, you're the brand, right? And so by being the brand, you represent the brand of the company. When you work for in a corporation, you align yourself with that corporation and you're on LinkedIn and you said, oh, I'm a part of this corporation. People are watching you. You represent that company or that corporation. And so when you look at it that way, the same we do in our relationships, we represent each other. So it's all about the team.
That's good. So before we go on to the next section of Speak That Talks, anything else that you want to share again on this relationship piece? Maybe you can even put on your Pastor Maxine hat or your author hat, your entrepreneur hat, whatever hat you want to wear. Anything else that you want to say to just empower, encourage, or uplift people, whether they're in a relationship, seeking one, or not in one, or trying to get out of one? Because 2020 made some people look at people and say,
honey, hush. That's what everybody say, honey, hush.
So anything to just speak life over the relationship piece for people right now.
Yeah, one other thing I forgot to mention, and it kind of goes hand in hand with self-care, is that the best relationship you can have is with yourself. And what I mean is when you have that relationship with yourself, it's about caring for yourself. It's about loving yourself. And so when we're caring and loving for ourselves and we're really taking care of ourselves, there's really nothing that nobody can do to break that up, right? And so when we're caring and loving for ourselves, and if we're looking for a relationship, when we're caring and loving for ourselves, we know what to expect of them and how we want to be treated. If we're caring and loving loving ourselves, if we are looking to get out of a relationship, we know why we need to get out of the relationship. If we're caring and loving and taking care of ourselves and building our own relationships, that's important to us because that's how other people are seeing us and other people are seeing what we see of ourselves. So I think that's really important. The other thing about it, I always like to say is that caring and having that relationship with yourself. I love this. We heard the term that you can't pour from an empty cup. And I learned this from a previous coach I had, that you also can't pour from a dirty cup.
Mm.
And the dirty cup is the residue that's been left in us based on past bad relationships, based off of stuff that we believed about ourselves, based off of things that people told us about ourselves. And we never cleaned out the residue. And so it goes into the next relationship, then clean out. So I said this in another platform, but wash that cup.
That's good. That's good.
Our relationship with ourselves is important. And so wash that cup and take care of ourselves. That's just really, really important because we are our brand. We are who we are.
That's good. And shout out to my soror, Jackie Robinson, who says, always be thinking about how you show up and represent.
Absolutely. Yes, I love that. I love that.
Great transition to the next segment. So thank you for that. Those were some great hot topics today. So if you all just tuned in, We have talked about True Kitchen in Dallas. And even Michelle put a comment. Michelle actually looked up what it means to twerk. So, hey, it's all good. So also we talked about women in business. We talked about women who lead. We talked about relationship goals. We talked about what a wife boss is. And we talked about Maxine's Wife Boss Academy. And people are really loving this thought. We even talked on Speak That Talks about washing that cup. Thank you for that one. I love a new concept. So now it is time for my favorite segment of Speak That Talks, which is the Speak That movement, Speak That speed round. So for this part, I am going to ask you the same thing that I have asked every single guest over the past 31 weeks. And that is for you to share with the audience your thoughts on the 4 pillars of Speak That movement, which are dream it, believe it, speak it, and walk it. So this is the part where I want to hand over the platform and you to empower the people, uplift them. You know, again, I said it, I'll say it again. 2020 has been quite the year, but this platform is intended to give us hope and make us feel like we can keep going and we can finish the year strong. So will you bless the platform with sharing your thoughts on each pillar?
Yeah, well, sure. I love the 4 pillars. And when we're talking about dreaming it,
Start with dreaming.
You have to see it. You have to see it. You have to see yourself in that space. And we know that where there is vision, there'll be provision for you. So there, you have to really just see it for yourself, whatever that is. And that means even if you are going to school and you are going to school and you're frustrated and you're looking to get your PhD, start signing your name. X, Y, and Z, PhD. That's a part of dreaming. It's going to happen, even if you didn't start yet. If you're looking to write a book, dream it. What does the title look like? What does the cover look like? Dream it. It's there. That's the seed that is planted. And so the seed that is planted is in your dream.
That's good. So Speak That movement, pillar number 2, believe it.
I say this in my church. You got to already act like it did already happen.
Say that again.
You got to act like it already did already happen. That's how you just got to act like it already did happen. I know that's bad English. I know we're educated, but this is what makes it fun, right?
Yeah, I love it.
You have to speak it. And I'll give you an example. I didn't even when I went to college and I applied for colleges, I didn't even get one acceptance letter as of yet, but I started shopping for my dorm room. I started shopping now because I believed that I was going to get into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colleges, which I did, obviously, but I'm educated. But the point is that because I believed it. So you believe it, that probably goes into the next one, I think. So you already have to act as if it already happened. I already know. And so just like I say to Tiara, I already know this is just such a blessing. I already know how it's blessing other people and how it will expand globally. I already know it. It's like, so when we sitting up here in confidence and all of that, it's really, really, I love that, Bob. That's good English. Yes. And it is faith, because we know that faith is the substance of things to hope for, and it's the evidence of things that we don't see. And that's what we walk in.
That's good. So Speak That movement, pillar number 3. Speak it.
Death and life is in the power of the tongue. And so when we understand and live by that Bible scripture and live by that principle, when we speak it, it also encourages us. And sometimes we have to encourage ourselves. And when we encourage ourselves by speaking those things over ourselves. And so when we speak those things over ourselves, that will change that shift, because things will happen and get in the way. And we were like, oh, I'm down. Maybe not. No. I believe it will happen. I believe I will be this. I believe I will be that. And I know that I will be X, Y, and Z. You have to speak it out loud. You have to write it down and you have to share it. Here's an example. I'll say this. The other piece, people used to say, I don't like this as a mom. People say, "Oh, your child is bad."
Mm.
Oh, your child is so bad. People say that. Oh, your son is bad. Your son is bad. And I was like, he's very manipulative. And they used to say that. And I'm like, wait, you're telling this kid he's manipulative? You know what I told him? No, he's not. He's strategic.
Yeah.
Change the narrative. When because what happens is people have spoken things over our lives and we still kind of believe it. We still believe it. So we have to change what people have said about us and replace it to what God says about us. No, you are not ugly. No, you are not too fat. No, you are not too skinny. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. That's what God says about you. You got to change that narrative. You got to speak that over yourself. That's important. That's I could go on. I go on and on and on about this, and we'll go into a whole sermon. So I'm gonna stop right there.
You can start preaching if you want to. I can go grab my tithes and offerings if that's what you want to do. Have your way.
I mean, a lot of times we do that when it's certain things that's been spoken over us, and we really still believe it. I'll give you another example. Here's something. If it, again, no judgment, but this is just something that people have spoken over. People, I'll just say in my community, people have said this, and you probably heard it. If you put your pocketbook on the floor, that means you're going to be broke for the rest of your life. I can remember I would have my pocketbook on the floor and people would dive across the pews to pick up my pocketbook. And they would tell me, don't do that. And I was like, why? Because they say you ain't gonna have no money. Where did I say that at?
I was wondering that too.
Who said that? Who said that?
Somebody broke.
And some of us are still believing that. You see what I mean? So we have to speak that. Like I tell people, I don't believe that.
That's good. I like that. Power in words. And as Jackie Robinson said, speak things that are not as though they are.
Yes.
Yes. So last but certainly not least, and I'm going to step away from this one because I like to give you the platform. So I want you to bless all of the Speak That Talks listeners right now with the final pillar of Speak That movement. Speak life over the people, help the people finish the year strong, encourage the people as you do best. With Speak That movement pillar number 4, walk it. It's on you.
Thank you. Here's the thing about walking. When we are walking with a destination in mind. And walking means that you're not standing in the same place. Walking is a movement. Walking means that you have to keep going. And so even in this place and time that some of us may feel like I'm done, I'm tired, and frankly, we want to give up because we are overwhelmed by everything that's happening in society today. But walk in your power, walk in your victory, because the seed has already been planted. And my prayer for each and every one of you is that when the Dream It pillar came up, there was something that triggered in your spirit that said, you know what? I always wanted to be. I always need to be. And start speaking that thing over yourself. And so when we're walking in it, we're walking towards a destiny. And that means don't stand still. That means continue to keep going. Why? Because there's something on the other side for you. There's something that's going to bless other people. And so when we are blessing other people, because God will get all the glory. So you have to keep moving. We can't sit still. I always like to tell this story about how a man or two men or two women, who insert whoever it is, they were outside of a building, and the one man pushed the other person down, and the other person was so offended because they pushed him down, and he stayed there. People came and said, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? And he said, I'm okay, but I'm going to just stay right here. People went inside the building. They came outside the building and they looked at the man, and the man is still sitting there. And we were like, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? I'm fine. The next day, people come back to the building. The man is still there. He's still there. He's still there. people are like, are you sure you're okay? No, I'm fine. I say all that to say is sometimes things will knock us down, but we do not have to stay there unless we choose to. We have to walk in our victory. We have to walk in our power, and we have to walk so that we can help others along the way. There is so much room out here in the world for people to be blessed by you. So continue to walk. Don't be discouraged. Don't stay on the ground. Get up, pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and continue to walk, continue to move.
Boom. And the doors of the church are open. Beautiful. Thank you for blessing the platform with that. And we have Amen. Catherine says, it's time for me to walk it.
Walk it, girl.
Sister, you have just encouraged someone today.
Bless God. Amen. Amen.
Yes, yes. Thank you, God, for the message. We were just talking about this, weren't we?
Yes.
Walk in our victory, walk in our power. I just feel like there's a space right now that I'm feeling virtually. Like there's power. Like I'm feeling the spirit in that word. So thank you so much.
Here, we're all created by God. And because we're all created by God, the thing is that God's power is in each and every inside of us. And when we understand that power and we understand that and we walk in it, we can walk in it in boldness too. Because the enemy and people will tell us what we're not, but that's not of God. We serve a great God who's a creator. We serve a mighty God, and he wants his children to be blessed. He wants you daughters to be blessed. He wants us to be prosperous, and that not necessarily say, Benzes and what I'm thinking of a rap song. But the thing is that he wants us to bless other people, because that's what we do. We're relational beings and we help each other. And a part of that is that I don't like to see my sisters down. I really don't. I want everybody to walk in their power and to be the best that they ought to be and walk in their destiny. And you can be a great leader. You can continue to be a great leader and even be a better leader, a better spouse, better relationships, and being who you are. Just walk in it and believe it and know it. And you have to speak that over yourself, saying that I know I'm going to have a great relationship. I know this. Prayer, fasting, meditation, all of that is so important. That's about the whole well-being of ourselves. It is. It really is. Yeah, I feel it too. I'm just like, because I'm starting to sweat. So I already know. It's like fire. Shut up and
yes. I'm speechless, and speak that talks is about talking, but I feel it, and thank you, God. Thank you, God. And
that's awesome.
Michelle says, thank you so much for the wonderful ministries you are in and being such a blessing to so many. Our God is an awesome God.
Yes, he is.
So many folks receive that message. So on that note, I'm going to close us out, but I just feel like, I don't know why. I know I'm going over the time. I'm sorry, but can I ask you, I feel like there's some people out there, they're leaning in, they're pressing in. Any final words as people, all of us are finishing this roller coaster year. We're finishing it strong. There's still weeks left in this year, and we don't even know what 2021 will bring. Any final words as people are pressing in right now?
Continue to press in. And here's why. I think about Joseph, who was still prosperous in a pandemic. Remember, Joseph, they had the famine, and he was able to still bless others. And so keep pressing in and keep holding on. Somebody out there probably is saying, you know what? I wanted to give up. I wanted to give up on my goals. I wanted to give up on my dreams. And this right here is probably for you, for real, to say you can't. Because if you are, you're being selfish. You're being selfish to what God wants you to do for others and how we could bless others. I'm getting chills right now. So the thing is that We want to give up, but we can't. And there's so many different stories about that. There's so many different avenues. There were times when I even wanted to give up. There were times I was like, you know what? Forget it. People in the church ain't acting right. People at work ain't acting right. Home ain't right. Things ain't right. And the thing is like, how dare you? How dare you? We focus so much on what's not right instead of being grateful for what is right. Yeah. Here's the first thing to be grateful about. We woke up this morning. Second thing to be grateful about. All of us, most of us got a roof over our head. Third thing, not only we got a roof over our head, we got internet. I know that's bad English. We got internet. We got cable that we can watch this. We can watch this together and to be blessed and to sharpen each other and to get encouraging words. We can continue to come back week after week and get encouraging words from women and from my sister Tiara. We can do that. We be grateful. So when we walk that and talk about and think about and be grateful and look at our gratefulness and what things we could be grateful for, all that other stuff is I'm grateful for being here. Yeah. Wow. Because you didn't have to invite me. You could have just said, okay, thank you. Good talking to you. When we talk, you could have said, thank you. I'm like, okay, I get it. Right? But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this.
Wow. Awesome. And on that note, we're going to close it out. I'm grateful for you, Maxine. Others agree. Lots of comments right now, a lot of engagement. I am grateful for you for, as I said, blessing this platform. I felt that move. I felt that wave. And I know that other people did too. So keep pressing in, y'all. Even after this, keep pressing in. It's not too late. This is just the beginning for some of you. Don't let 2020 go by without dreaming it, believing it, speaking it, and walking it. Yes. This is your year. Don't let any statistics, anything make you think this cannot be your year. If you still woke up and have breath in your body and words and thoughts, then there is still time for you to do whatever it is that you were born to do. Yeah. So on that note, thank you all so much. On that note, we're going to close it out. Tell people, you got us all excited. How can we have more of you? How can we follow you, support you, and your efforts?
Let me start by saying this. I would love to help women, and I would like to say to women, I would like to help you on your journey to get you to that next level. And to help you with that journey, it'll be on me. It's us going through it together. So what I would like to do is you could go to www.theinfluentialfemale.com. And it'll tell you to click here and there's a form because I want to get to know you and how I can help you. Again, it's on me. I want to help you with this journey. So, and I want you to put in the notes to say, we or speak that talk because I don't want everybody on there. If I say it's on me and then everybody like, for speak that talk, I need you to, and let's add something. I need you to add the 4 pillars because I don't want somebody to, if I say it's on me, I won't want to work with you. It's on me. So go to www.theinfluentialfemale.com and go there, click there as a form. And I would love to work with you because there's more out there for you. And I would love to walk with you in that journey. Yes, walking your purpose. That's the first thing. The second thing is I would love if you want to follow me on social media platforms. I am on Instagram at Maxine L Johnson. On Instagram, Maxine L Johnson. You can also find me on Facebook. It's probably on my other page, Maxine Speaks. You can find me there. And as well as I'm on LinkedIn, Maxine Johnson and Maxine Speaks on LinkedIn. And I just have I feel what you feel. I'm feeling it too. I really am. Lastly, you can find me at Wife Boss Academy. That is the wifebossacademy.com. But I would love to be and talk to some women, 5 women. I'm going to look for 5 women that'll be on me to work together to get you to that next level. All right. Remember to put in Speak That Talks in the 4 pillars. Remember, that's important.
Yes. And listen, I just have to say this. This stuff is not planned on Speak That Talks. When I tell you it's unscripted, it is. There's no script. There's no plan. So I encourage, if you're out there and you heard this message and you're feeling something, Maxine felt led to do what she's doing. I didn't know this was happening. So as she said, go to the www.theinfluentialfemale, spell it right now because there's some letters in influential, so spell it right. And she mentioned Speak That Movement and the 4 pillars. Dream it, believe it, speak it, and walk it, okay? And so thank you, Maxine, because that is an incredible, incredible gift that you're offering. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah. So there you have it, Miss Maxine L Johnson, today's guest speaker. People, please give her some pumps, some love. Thank you so much for this platform, opportunity for you to be on this platform and for your platforms that you're offering, and for your transparency and just your selfless personality and your giving spirit. Thank you so much. I speak nothing but blessings over you. I already told you that beforehand, and I God just confirmed some of those from the prayer that we had before this show, didn't he?
Amen. Yep. I appreciate you so much, my sister. You know, I love you. I love you. I love you. And I am so grateful, and I don't take it for granted to be here on Speak That Talks. I appreciate you. And to all of you, thank you so much.
Thank you. Make sure you follow Miss Maxine Johnson and show her some love. Take care and have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Well, there you have it, everybody. Another transformational edition of Speak That Talks. I'm literally like, I'm speechless on Speak That Talks, but I felt that wave. I felt it. So again, thank you all for tuning in. This is the 31st consecutive week of Speak That Talks, and we're going to keep going. I told you all that if you all kept listening, I was going to keep talking and bringing in some amazing guest speakers. 2 more that I want you to make sure you tune in on for this Women Who Lead series, December 10th and December 17th. And that's not it, because after that, there's a very, very special announcement that'll be made soon. And there's also a very special guest on Christmas Eve. Yes, I'm doing a show on Christmas Eve, but guess what? I'm being obedient and I'm being disciplined. And I'm doing it every single Thursday in 2020 because that's what I was called to do. So I thank you all in advance for checking us out on December 10th and December 17th, Christmas Eve. And we're going to close out the year, y'all. We came this far. We're closing it out on Thursday, December 31st, New Year's Eve. So as always, thank you all for supporting Tiara PR Network, Speak That Movement, and Speak That Talks. To learn more, just check out the website, tiaraprnetwork.com. That's all I have for you. May God bless you. And may God protect you. Take care, everybody. See you soon.